What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Fuel channel. It's been a while, but I'm back. I took a little bit of a time off, and now we're back to talk about Double or Nothing. It is Thursday night, May 25th, 2023. I'm sorry for the audience if my screen is lagging. It's a little laggy on my end right now, but hopefully all is good on your end watching the video. We're talking about Double or Nothing tonight here on the channel, and man, we got the full gang here tonight. The band is back. Wesley Williams, Cameron Johnson, here to talk about AEW's Double or Nothing live from Las Vegas on Sunday night. Wes, what is going on, man? How are you? And what are your thoughts on the Double or Nothing card coming up on Sunday night?
Well, Joseph, it's great to be back on Big Fight Field once again. It has been a minute. It's great to have all three of the gang members back here. Myself, Cameron Johnson, Joe Sakama, to talk AEW Double or Nothing. I'm very excited for Sunday night. I will be out of town for this weekend, so I don't know if I'll catch the show live, but I will be for sure to watch the replay if it gets to that point. But very excited to watch Double or Nothing, regardless if it's live or not. Great cards stacked up, a lot of great build leading up to the show in Vegas, and a lot of interesting things, bound to spiral out, and it's going to be a fun night for sure, man. Then plus we got the Collision is coming up, the new show Collision's coming up soon, and then we got we can't forget All In at Wembley Stadium in England. Well, it's going to be how many tickets are they sold? What, 60,000 up to this point, 50, 60,000. I mean, jam-packed crowd at Wembley Stadium in England. I mean, it's going to be the biggest crowd we've seen definitely in many years. It could be. It's definitely gonna be AEW's biggest attendance yet. And man, that show I'm definitely amped for. That's for sure. But a lot of big things, a lot of big moves happening for AEW recently, and then they got a new deal with Warner Media. Man, I mean, it's a lot of great things are going in the right direction right now for AEW, and hopefully this path will continue to go forward with them, and they can continue to grow bigger and bigger. As we all know how great they can do it, and man, it's gonna be fun going forward.
I love it, man. Cam, what's up, brother?
What is going on, guys, man? What is going on, man? I'm doing good. My camera will not work, but I'm gonna play that into a gimmick of mine right now. See, I have decided that I am too beautiful for the IWC clowns. Therefore, you will not see this face on the show ever again, or until I get enough money to get a new camera. So I'm broke right now. I am a broke boy right now. But anyway, until that happens, you guys don't deserve to see my beautiful face on here. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Joseph and West. You want to know what my face looks like? You can follow me on Twitter at Cam71101. Quick Twitter plug there. But how are my guys doing, man? How y'all doing? I see y'all in weeks. I see y'all in weeks, man. I'm so happy to see you guys. I'm so happy to be back here talking AEW. Oh my God. We've got AEW Collision coming up. AEW Fight Forever is finally coming out, folks. This is not a drill. It is finally coming out. It is finally coming. It is finally coming out, folks. It's not a drill. This ain't fake. Nothing like that, bro. No clickbait. Nothing. AEW Fight Forever is coming out, and I'm telling y'all right now, when AEW Fight Forever comes out, y'all can meet. I'm giving y'all this work with Brandon Cutler, Manga Nakazawa. It don't matter. It don't matter. Y'all getting this work if y'all want it. But man, moving on, man. Sorry if that took too long. I am doing great, man. AEW Double or Nothing this Sunday. Heart looks damn good. Let's break down this show.
Man, it's really good to be back with you guys. Talking about Double or Nothing, talking about this pay-per-view, talking about Collision, because I want to talk a little bit about Collision before we talk about Double or Nothing. It's just really good to be back with you guys, talking about what we all love, and that's AEW. I don't watch that other shit anymore. I really don't pay attention to it much. It's just good that AEW fulfills my wrestling for the week. And it's pay-per-view week, so it's a big week for sure. When it comes to here on the channel and my wrestling week in general. But yeah, man, without further ado, got all that out of the way. It's glad to be back. Let's dive right into it, man. But before we talk about Double or Nothing, I want to talk about Collision first. AEW's new hottest show, AEW Collision, starts Saturday, June 17th, and last night, Tony Khan announced himself on Dynamite that the first episode is going to be June 17th on TNT from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. So for all the people, and I'm just basically more than likely it's going to happen, for all the people who have been wondering for 9 months, is CM Punk coming back to AEW? Is he retiring? How's the beef with the Elite? How's the beef with Hangman Page? How's the beef with Chris Jericho? All this stuff going on, you could put that aside. Because basically, what all this confirms is that CM Punk is going to be back in AEW in about 3 weeks. You got to wait 3 more weeks, and then CM Punk, he's back in AEW. What he does after that, I don't know. If he stays on Collision, I don't know. Is that show built just for CM Punk? I don't know. I want to hear from you guys first, and then I want to talk more about it. So I'm gonna give this one to Wes first. AEW Collision starts June 17th. Wes, your thoughts?
Yeah, very excited to see what the show brings. I do know that we saw in recent reports that AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation were cut, and we no longer have those shows, which is a smart decision because you need to cut out some content to have room for all this more content that you're presenting going forward with AEW Collision. I do believe is it gonna be live every single Saturday? I'm pretty sure, right?
I think the third week is taped.
Okay, I
That's
got it. Okay. But yeah, because I was curious about it because I know Rampage, obviously they tape Rampage, and Rampage will still be happening and stuff on Fridays. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this new show brings. Obviously, it's a new opportunity for a lot of different people. You got people like Thunder Rosa and Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs, people like that who are wanting to show up on Collision and make an even bigger name for themselves and get them back into the spotlight. Because obviously when it comes to guys like Miro, we were wanting for months, like, where's Miro at? Miro in the sport, what's going on with him? Thunder Rosa, everything was, very questionable with all the backstage stuff with her, and then of course her injury and everything, and we weren't really sure exactly what was all going on with that. And then of course Andrade too. Andrade was also he made his return to AEW, and he's going to be featured on Collision. We were all wondering about Andrade after the whole backstage fiasco with him and Sammy Guevara. It's like, what's the future of Andrade look like in AEW? So now it looks like that vision is more clear for a lot of different people, and I'm very excited to see how everything works out for all these different individuals. And I'm hoping this show can really feel like a second Dynamite. I really hope it can, because we felt that way about Rampage initially, and then as time went on and on, it just felt more and more like a B show, and it's gotten to the point. I mean, I still don't even watch Rampage on a weekly basis anymore. I just don't. I see clips online, and that's it. The only show I really care about watching is Dynamite, and that's it. And that fulfills my wrestling week right there, those 2 hours. But I'm hoping with Collision now being on Saturday nights, I'm hoping that this will be another fulfillment in my wrestling week, and it can truly feel like a secondary Dynamite. It can really feel like an important show with a lot of important storylines going on. And I think even Samoa Joe will be pretty involved with Collision as well. So it's opportunity for a lot of different people to get back into that spotlight, take advantage of the opportunities that are right there in front of them, and then make the Collision their show, their big show, to really stand out. And I'm very excited to see come June 17th when everything starts and begins for AEW Collision, that we see a lot of great stuff. And it's like you said, Joseph, June 17th, it was announced last night, United Center, Chicago, Illinois. It's all but confirmed. CM Punk is coming back. That was the one announcement that I think everybody was waiting on in the community. It's like, if they announced Chicago, Punk's coming back. If they didn't announce Chicago, Punk's not coming back. There's been a lot of speculation in the reports, like that Punk is going to come back. He's not going to come back. What, if, ands, or buts, whatever. But now I think this pretty much makes things official. Now we're just waiting for June 17th to happen to see the return of CM Punk. What he does after he returns, like you said, Joseph, we're not sure yet. We have to wait and see. I do know there was like a rumor speculating that they could do, like, Punk wanted to do a program with Samoa Joe. That would definitely be must-see television right there. Obviously, Samoa Joe and CM Punk have their history in Ring of Honor, so obviously there's a deep history there. They go way back. You have a perfect storyline right then and there for both those guys. So again, it will be a wait and see game, but I'm very excited for the future of this new show.
Cam, let's hear from you, man.
I'm very much looking forward to AEW Collision. I like the idea of there being a second AEW show. What I'm hoping this is I'm hoping this is AEW SmackDown. I thought I think many people thought Rampage was going to be the same thing. But over time, Rampage is just you play the injuries, or them not focusing on it anymore. Them not focusing on it anymore. The Rampage isn't a must see show. For Rampage, if I'm home and if I'm home, the way I feel about Rampage is if I'm home, if I'm off work, and if I'm off work, I'll turn on TNT to watch Rampage. But if I miss Rampage, it's not like I'm going to go out my way to it's not like I'm going to go off my way to catch up on Rampage like I will Dynamite. I'm sorry, I just won't. They have very good wrestling on Rampage, but I'm sorry, at this point, I just don't care about Rampage. So I like them adding a second AW Collision show. I like them making it live and making them, making it 2 hours because, with it being live in 2 hours, it kind of forces now AW to put a lot more emphasis on Collision or really expand Collision out. I'm hoping with Collision, because I saw a rumor about this, and I hope this doesn't happen. I hope this does not turn into, I hope this doesn't turn into AEW doing a brand split by all means, because I just don't think they need one. Because I just don't think they need one. What I am more so hoping for here is that instead of this being a brand split, what I'm hoping for is that, we'll see, is that, they do like a soft brand split instead of a hard brand split. Where you have guys that are mainly appear on Collision, you have guys that are mainly appear on Dynamite. But I don't, but that doesn't mean, this guy can appear on Dynamite, this guy can appear on Collision. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping they use Collision for talents like Swerve Strickland, like Keith Lee, people who don't really get a lot of airtime on Dynamite. Maybe they can get that airtime on Collision. I would like, maybe they can get that airtime on Collision. I would like that. And I also like them transitioning Rampage into a show, that's used for younger talent and character development, similar to what NXT is. I think that's what Rampage would be. I think that's what Rampage would be best suited out for at this point. I think that's what Rampage would be best suited out for at that point. That and Ring of Honor both. So I like the addition of AEW Collision, but I hope they don't go into a full brand split with it because I don't think a brand split is needed. But I like the addition of Collision.
See, I like where this is going because I'm going to disagree with you. I do think one of the things that need to happen with Collision Cam is they need a brand split. I think the roster in AEW is too big to have so many missing stars who are not on Dynamite. And then you wonder, oh, maybe I'm going to see them on Collision. And then you don't see them on Collision. Like Powerhouse Hobbs, for an example. You think 1 week he doesn't show up on Dynamite. Okay, maybe I'm going to get Powerhouse Hobbs on Collision. You don't get Powerhouse Hobbs on Collision. You don't get Powerhouse Hobbs the entire week. I think with this new show, Collision, I think mostly Rampage is going to be for the mid card or the lower mid card because, like, if you've seen their cards the past couple weeks, it's been really okay. I could skip this show because I don't feel like I need to watch Rampage, and it's not been a couple weeks. It's been way longer than that. But I think their AEW roster, they've signed so many guys, they've signed so many talented guys that we're missing them on a weekly basis, like Ricky Starks, like Powerhouse Hobbs, like Swerve. So I think you do need a brand split, and you need to have a set of men and women and tag teams on Dynamite, and a set of men, women, and tag teams on Collision, besides the champions. I think the champions can float in between shows. So if MJF wants to show up on Dynamite and then Saturday night he says, I'm going to show up on Collision and I'm going to defend the championship against Samoa Joe, he's the champion. So he can do that. But I do think the roster is too big to not do a brand split. That's just my opinion. And I think guys that we haven't seen in a long time, Miro, Andrade, Thunder Rosa, Powerhouse Hobbs, those type of wrestlers, I think Collision is their platform. But, I disagree. Respectfully, I disagree with you. Is there anything you want to counter?
I'm not going to counter that. I can see the argument for their needing to be a brand split. I can see the argument for their needing to be a brand split. Just me personally, just me personally, I feel like that would, just me personally, I feel like them adding a brand split, would kind of make it feel similar to WWE, where we have like, We have guys that we see on Raw. We have guys that we see on SmackDown. A brand split, I would not mind, but I don't want it to be a hard brand split. I don't want it to be a hard brand split. Where Tony Khan and these guys are, drafting rosters, on the third. What I think should happen with the brand split is, they can split the brands, but there are guys that primarily appear on Dynamite. And I say like John Moxley at the BCC, the Elite, MJF, Darby Allin, people like that. Those people can mainly appear on Dynamite. You have people that mainly appear on Collision, but I don't think it should, should prevent anybody from Collision from appearing on Dynamite, or anybody from Dynamite from appearing on Collision that's not the champion. So if you have John Moxley, and you need Moxley on Collision for this angle, I don't think him being on Dynamite should, hinder, I don't think him being on Dynamite should hinder that. If you have Ricky Starks, for example, you need Ricky Starks on Dynamite this week. I don't think him being a part of the Collision roster should hinder him being on Dynamite. That's just me. I don't have an issue with them doing a brand split. It's just I don't want to see them do like an overly strict brand split where it's like, oh, these guys is on this show. He can't appear on Dynamite. He can't appear on Collision. I don't want to see that. I want to see a soft brand split. That's what I want. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because AEW's roster is really big, and I do think it's kind of necessary, but at the same time, you're right. I don't know with the champions and all that stuff. One last thing: what if with Collision, they should get their own identity? What about a general manager? Something AEW's never done. What if they get their own general manager for Rampage? Is that something you guys would like to see?
I don't want to see that, to be quite honest with you, just because I just think the OGM, I just think the whole authority figure in wrestling trope, to me, I think that's just played out. I don't think we need a general manager. I like what AEW does. When the AEW appears on TV, their matches, and who's booking the matches, Tony Khan. I like that. Well, I would like to see with Collision is a different set. I would like to see a different setup used for Collision, different from the setup they use on Dynamite. I would like to see a different setup for Collision and a different announce team, especially. I love Excalibur, that's my boy, but I don't want to turn on Collision and hear Excalibur on Collision. They're gonna kill my man. They're gonna kill us. He on Rampage. He on Rampage. He on Dynamite. He was on Dark Elevation. Give Excalibur a break. Tell Excalibur Saturday take the day off. I would like to see them have a new announce team for Collision. I think that announce team should be Ian Riccaboni. Priest Coleman, Nigel McGuinness. If you want to have Taz in there over Priest Coleman, because people are familiar with Taz, I'm fine with that. But I would like to see Ian. But I think Ian Riccaboni should definitely be a part of this. Should definitely be a part of this announce team here. That's how I would like to see it. I would like to see a new set. That's how I like to see it. I like to see a different set and a different announce team for Collision. Oh, and different match graphics too. I want the match maybe that's just me, but I want the match graphics for Collision to be different than the match graphics on Dynamite. Because that's kind of because Rampage and Dynamite, they're basically like the same graphic except for the Dynamite you have on Rampage. I want to see them get different match graphics. So that's something I would like to see.
Anything you got to add, Wes?
No, I mean, I it's like Cam said. I mean, having its like own identity and everything. I mean, I think that's a great thing for Collision. You want to maybe kind of separate it just a little bit from Dynamite, but still have that feel and that excitement of a Dynamite, like as if you're watching AEW Dynamite on Wednesday night. Just that same feeling over on Saturday night. But yeah, having like its own identity, like match graphics, something is like as simple as that. The announce teams, I mean. There's still rumors speculating about Mauro Ranallo possibly one day. And like, man, I pray one day we hear that man on commentary again. Because dude, I don't know if y'all realize how badly I missed like the takeovers of him announcing the match. I mean, dude, it feels like it's like so long ago now. It's crazy. Yeah. Like it feels like it's almost ancient history at this point. But it's like, man, that the OG NXT with Mauro Ranallo calling commentary with Nigel McGuinness. I mean, that was some of the best wrestling you would ever watch in the modern era. And it's like, I would love it if one day Tony Khan would be able to pull some strings and get Mauro Ranallo on the commentary booth. I mean, if it came to the point where Collision comes and we get Mauro Ranallo on commentary, that already automatically will make the show must see. Like, you have to tune in at that point. You're going to have Mauro Ranallo calling AEW action. I mean, Come on now. Like if you're a true pro wrestling fan, that excites you. That
Yeah.
right there excites you. I know some people don't like his commentary, but I mean, honestly, I feel like true pro wrestling fans understand the excitement he brings to the commentary desk. He's literally like a modern day JR. Because and obviously we're seeing less and less of Jim Ross these days. Obviously, because he's older and he's not as well. He doesn't think as well as he used to, and it's understandable. I mean, he's older now. The guy's been through a lot. God bless the guy. But Mauro Ranallo would be huge, of course they have Nigel McGuinness now. I mean, I definitely would love Nigel McGuinness being on Collision. That would be a definite. I would love to see. But yeah, hopefully they change it up and they give Collision just a little bit of its own identity, but at the same time, again, like I said, give it that same excitement that you would get watching Dynamite on Wednesdays. So.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, we already have Nigel McGuinness, so they get more Ronaldo, man. That would be a huge W. But we talked a lot about Collision. Let's talk about the pay-per-view on Sunday, live from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. AEW's 5th Double or Nothing, man. Awesome. 5 years of Double or Nothing. 5 years of AEW celebrating Sunday night. It's mostly like a celebration card, just celebrating 5 years in AEW. If you guys don't think this card's that stacked, which I mean, I guess I could kind of get your argument. It's a fun match card celebrating AEW 5 years. If you want your stacked match card, man, watch All In on August 27th. That's got to be, that's up top to bottom. That show's going to be loaded. So, there's 9 matches at Double or Nothing. From spoilers from Rampage. That's how I catch up on Rampage. I just look at spoilers on Thursday morning. The buy-in 0 hour match is a 6-man tag between the Hardy Boys and Hook teaming up to face the Guns and Ethan Page. I'm taking the Hardy Boys and Hook just to hope that this feud's over. So I'm taking the faces.
Yeah, same. Hardys and Hook. That's an obvious choice. I didn't watch the Final Deletion match, but I did see the clip of Isaiah Cassidy moaning on top of the shed. My God, I saw that on TikTok. My goodness, that dude is hilarious. Like he is so funny. Like, I mean, I this Brother Zay, I guess, alter ego he has now. It's like, this is insane. But dude, if you didn't watch the Final Deletion match and you haven't seen that clip, for those watching, I highly advise go on TikTok. It's so hilarious. Like I crack up every single time. Like I'll like replay it and I'm like, dude, this is insane. You just hear him moan on top of a shed. It's wild. So I will say I love that. But yeah, I'm hoping the Hardys can move on to something bigger and better for them. Hopefully, maybe when it comes to AEW Collision, we'll see the Hardys on Collision. I think that would be a really cool spot for them. But yeah, taking Hardys and Hook on this one.
I did think that match on Rampage a couple weeks ago. I did. They posted it on YouTube, so I'm like, I don't even have to watch the show. I can just watch it on YouTube. I thought it was really fun. I know not a lot of people liked it, but I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Cam, who are you going for here?
I'm going with the Hardys and I hope that this feud is over. I don't know why Matt Hardy's still feuding with Ethan Page, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I know I don't watch Rampage as much anymore. And I'm happy this is on the mic. I thought this was on the main card. Because when I was prepared for this, I went on Wikipedia and they had this match on like the main card. I was like, God, I was like, what? I was like, what? I was like, what? Why is this match? I was like, what? I was like, why is this match even on pay-per-view? Outside of giving Jeff Hardy a match on pay-per-view. Like, why is this even happening? But keep the story short. Hardy's win. In the feud that will not die. If this feud continues past, then I give up. I give up. Move the Hardys on to something else. Can we get the Hardy Party in there with House of Black for the AEW Trio titles? Can we move on from this, please? Please, I'm begging you. Anything other than this. Please, I'm tired of this.
I'm tired of it too, man. I don't give a shit about the firm anymore. Let's talk about the main card. I think that obviously the 2 biggest matches on this card are the Pillars 4-way for the World Championship and the Anarchy in the Arena. I think one of those matches is going to close, which is probably the 4 Pillars 4-way. So I think Anarchy in the Arena should open the show. A great way to get the fans hooked into the show. So we got the Young Bucks Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page, the Elite, going up against Claudio Castagnoli, the Ring of Honor World Champion, Wheeler Yuta, Jon Moxley, and Bryan Danielson, the Blackpool Combat Club. Last year's Anarchy in the Arena match between the Jericho Appreciation Society and the Blackpool Combat Club was insane. I didn't even know what to expect going into that match. I got way more than I expected. That match, I had a fun time watching that match, man. Last year's Double or Nothing, that match was insane. I might go back and watch it before the pay-per-view on Sunday. But this match could be even crazier. The storytelling in this, man, has been freaking off the charts. You got the Combat Club taking out Hangman's Eye. You got the Elite when they came to back up Hangman. The Steel Cage match 2 weeks ago between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega with the Steel. That was one of my favorite matches of the entire year so far in 2023. Don Callis turning on Omega, something I didn't see coming at all. And I don't know, man. I think Don Callis is going to have a hand in this match. I don't know how, but I'm thinking the Blackpool Combat Club is going to win because Konosuke Takeshita is going to turn on the Elite. I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I think it's going to happen in this match. The feud's far from over, so I think this was Don Callis' swerve to Kenny Omega, is for him to turn on Kenny and for Takeshita to turn on Kenny as well. And I think the Blackpool Combat Club do pick up the victory at Double or Nothing because of the help of Takeshita. Cam, Anarchy in the Arena. It's all yours. Cam? We'll go to Wes until we hear from Cam.
All right. So yeah, Anarchy in the Arena. Man, I've been loving this storyline. I think this is definitely outside of the Four Pillars match. This has definitely been the biggest storyline going for AEW. I mean, you have two factions at the top of their games. You got some of the best wrestlers in the world going to battle at Double or Nothing, and what is going to be one of the most chaotic matches we've seen, definitely in recent memory. Yeah, we already know there's going to be blood. Well, I think that goes without saying. I mean, blood will be shed for sure, and I'm very much excited for it. I can't wait for all the blood and for the ring and for everywhere to be just splattered and blood. It'll probably mostly be Jon Moxley's blood too. Yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Now, I do like your idea of Konosuke Takeshita showing up, turning on the Elite. I do like the idea. This is an interesting matchup because I could really see this going either way. This really could go either way if you think about, like, you know, he's got the Elite back together, the band's back, they're back at full force with Hangman, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and of course you got Don Callis in the trenches waiting to, you know, be plotting and scheming whatever the hell he is doing. You know, he's a snake oil salesman, man. That guy's a slime ball. He will do the most dastardly of things to screw over Kenny Omega or whatever. So I definitely see Callis' involvement in this match. I do. I feel like I feel like we should expect Don Callis to be involved in some way, shape, or form. Takeshita is another interesting factor too, because he got taken out by the BCC a few weeks back, and we haven't seen him since. So I like your idea of Takeshita turning on the Elite and joining up Blackpool Combat Club. I can very well see that happening, but I will differ with you, and I will say the Elite win. I think the Elite will get the victory over the BCC. So I will differ. I can see that scenario playing out, so I'm not going to rule it out completely. But I want to be different. I'm going to pick the Elite over the BCC. I think they will triumph over the Blackpool Combat Club, and they will stand tall. I don't think this will be the end of the storyline. I think this will continue afterwards. I don't think this will be completely all said and done. I could see this spiraling into maybe some one-on-one competition between whoever. Maybe, you know, you get Kenny and Danielson again. Maybe we get Hangman and Danielson again. Who knows? Moxley could be involved in some way. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Elite getting the win here.
Yeah, and Cam left a call as well. So I don't know. I just hit him up on Instagram, make sure that he was okay and everything. Hopefully he will be back in in a little bit. I just texted him on Instagram, but that's interesting. Now, I don't think this feud's ending at Double or Nothing. There's no chance. Um, Kota Ibushi is a free agent. Do you think we could see him at any point in the summer for this feud?
Man, if I know one thing's for sure, if Kota Ibushi shows up, man, that is groundbreaking, absolutely groundbreaking, man. That's definitely putting AEW into another level right there. Because I mean, I know casual fans may not know who Kota Ibushi is, man. But people need to do their research, man. The guy is one of the greatest wrestlers walking the planet today. I mean, just go back and watch the Cruiserweight Classic. If you're a WWE fan, go back and watch the Cruiserweight Classic back in 2016, and you will see firsthand how amazing Kota Ibushi is. So I will say that. But yeah, if I have heard the rumors swirling about Kota Ibushi, showing up in AEW, and obviously WWE, I'm sure, is trying to. Oh, look who's back.
Cam?
I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. My Wi-Fi is being stupid as hell. So if I go out again, just know it's not because it's because of this damn Wi-Fi we got here. It actually pissed me off. It's been happening a lot recently. I've been on my computer doing shit. My Wi-Fi goes out. I should better prepare for this. I'm sorry, guys. But
I was getting
what were we on? Were we on the in-argument arena stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, guys, I'm sorry about that. Well, I'm sorry about that. But in terms of who gets the win here, I got a controversial opinion about this. Here we go. This match should headline the show. This match should main event the show, and Four Pillars should open. The Four Pillars program to me is. We'll talk about this more in the main event. But to me, the Four Pillars match has fallen flat. But to me, the Four Pillars. But to me, the Four Pillars match has fallen flat. It has fallen very, very flat, in my opinion. And it's just because I don't think It's just because I don't think Jungle Boy Sammy Guevara, quite frankly, should be main event pay per view. But we'll talk about that more when we get to the main event. I think this should headline because I think this is the hottest match AEW. I think this is the hottest feud AEW has going without a doubt. And Joseph, I'm a big believer in Joseph. I'm a big believer in whatever the star attraction is for your show. To me, that should headline the show. No, to me, that should headline the show. And if it's not your world title, that's the star headline, so be it. I think this has been the best thing on AEW television. I think we should headline the show. I do. I think we should headline the show. I think this is the more credible main event out of the two main event matches we have here. But in terms of who gets the win here, BCC are going to win this match here because Konosuke Takeshita is turning on the Elite. That's what's happening. Konosuke Takeshita is turning on the Elite, and that's going to leave the Elite, more specifically Kenny Omega, having to even the odds. Kenny Omega is going to make a phone call to Kota Ibushi, and that's how we get Kota Ibushi in AEW, and that's how we set up Blood and Guts with Kota Ibushi on the side of the Elite and Takeshita on the side of the BCC. So that's what I'm going with. I think that's what I'm going with. I think Takeshita is going to turn on the Elite. Whether he has Don Callis in his ear, Bryan Danielson, one of the two. But I think Takeshita is turning on the Elite, allowing the BCC to pick up more.
Man, your Wi-Fi went out, and that's exactly what we were talking about. We were talking about Kota Ibushi coming into AEW, evening up the odds for the Elite. Wes is disagreeing with us, Kim. He's saying the Elite's going to win this match, which, I mean, I don't know. I expected the face team to win last year, and the JAS won. So I'm taking the Combat Club, and Takeshita's going to turn. But, man, when do you think we're getting an announcement for Blood and Guts? It's got to be soon, right?
Some point, probably. Maybe I get it.
But yeah, that's easily your Blood and Guts match this year. I don't care about the originals versus the Outcast anymore. This is Blood and Guts. So, but man, me and Cam are on the BCC. Wes is standing alone, taking the Elite. So, but this is probably the match. That's probably the match I'm looking forward to the most at the pay-per-view. Let's go to the TBS Championship. We got Taya Valkyrie challenging Jade Cargill once again, and it's the same thing. We're playing the waiting game because we're waiting for Chris Statlander to get back to AEW with her ACL injury. Um, Seen her pictures on Instagram a couple times. She's looking great. Hopefully, she's ready to come back soon. Um, as much as I would love to get the TBS championship off of Jade Cargill because it just feels so irrelevant at this point, I'm taking Jade Cargill to win just because I think they're so set in stone in having Statlander take the TBS championship from Jade Cargill. So I'm going to take Jade Cargill. Cam, who do you got winning and why?
Jay Gargill is winning this match, unfortunately, which I do not want to say because you guys know me. I've been a big advocate of getting the TBS championship off Jay Cargill because I am not Jay Cargill's biggest fan. Because I am not Jay Cargill's biggest fan. But and if I was booking this, Ty would take the title. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're waiting for Statlander to come back so Statlander can beat Jay Cargill. So I'm going with Jade Cargill, unfortunately.
Wes?
Oh, guys, I guess I'm gonna have to be different again. I'm actually
Oh,
go with Ty Valkyrie on this one. Okay, so here I'm gonna explain myself here. Now, I know Jade Cargill's been on this big run, right? Defeated, no one's been able to take her down. They did face off one other time before. Ty lost because she couldn't use her finisher on Jade. That was a rule that Mark Sterling had put in the contract. You can't use her finisher. And now this is their second time going at it here. Ty Valkyrie's been a big signing for AEW, a huge signing for the women's division in AEW. Ty Valkyrie's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. You go watch her work; she's amazing. And I feel like if she doesn't win this match, this is the second go around here. I feel like if she doesn't win, this is going to devalue her more. That's just my opinion. I just feel like you got one of the best women's wrestlers in the world at your disposal. You bring her in, or you catapult her into a big feud with Jade Cargill, who's been undefeated. No one's been able to take her down. I get the idea and what Tony Khan wants to run with Chris Statlander, wanting to win the title off Jade Cargill. I have no issue with that. I love Chris Statlander. She's the AEW original, and I think she's well deserving of it. But we still don't know the timetable of her return. I know she's rehabbing and she's posting on Instagram like her rehab assignments and all of that stuff. That's great. I'm happy to see that she's healing up. She's doing better. She's able to, do more like cardio and just get to work on all of her all the stuff to get herself back to where she needs to be. But I don't know how much longer this waiting game is going to take, man. I mean, are we going to get Chris Statlander maybe it all in? I don't know. I mean, it's just, again, we don't know the timetable of her return. I want her to get back as soon as possible because I really enjoy Chris Statlander and I think she's definitely deserving of being a champion. It's all a matter of staying healthy because now, of course, this is her second time of getting injured for an extended period of time. I can only hope and pray that she stays healthy. But I feel like they probably need to stop doing this waiting game for so long now because we've already waited for so long and Jade Cargill's title run has been so trash. I'm sorry. It's been so fucking trash. No one gives a single fuck about the TBS title. I'm sorry. If you do, Jade Cargill has her fans out there. Great. She has not shown me a lick of anything that she is really expanding her move set and it's just I watch her matches and I'm sorry, it's just like the same thing. It's just the same
thing.
Me
a lick of improvement. Been the same. Ain't showing me a lick of improvement. I'm sorry to cut you off, Wes, but ain't showing a lick of improvement. Been the same match over and over and over again, man. Say what you want to, bro, but when Bianca Belair was in NXT, Bianca showed improvement. You saw Bianca improve to the point where Bianca Belair is a damn good professional, to the point where Bianca Belair is a damn good professional wrestler. She's not the best wrestler in the world or anything, but she can go in there, she can hold her own, she can go in there, she can have great matches. You look at somebody like Tiffany Stratton down there in NXT, that is a woman who has shown me improvement. That is a woman who, when I first saw her 2 years ago, oh my God, it's just another blonde. Oh my God, it's just another blonde that they would really like to push. To a point where I look at Tiffany Stratton and I go, they got something with me. They got something with this woman. They got something with this woman. A year, 2 years, I'm all right. This woman is going to be headlining WrestleMania against people like Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch. There's something there. There's something there because she's improving. I like Jade Cargill. It's just, I watch Jade Cargill. It's just, what has she done at all to actually improve? Just actually improve. I'm not seeing the improvement from Jade Cargill. I'm not. I'm sorry. But go ahead, Wes. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. No, I completely agree. I mean, it just when it comes to her storylines too. I mean, what is so interesting about any storyline she's in? Like, it just
Um,
feels like they always get thrown to Rampage. Like, and like again, I don't watch Rampage on a weekly basis anymore. I don't. I just see little clips on social media and then I move on with my life. It's just like it seems like a lot of Jade stuff too is just on Rampage. It's like no one watches Rampage. I'm sorry, no one watches it. They don't care. It's pre-taped. It's an hour show full of filler. It's just it is. You know, as we were talking about this earlier with Collision. It's just we don't want Collision to feel like Rampage. Rampage it just feels like a B show. But yeah, I mean, I'm going with Taya though. I just feel like the TBS title needs change. It needs a new face. Jade Cargill's been the longest reigning champion in AEW history. Congrats to her. No one's beaten her. Her title reign has been shit. I'm sorry. Like it has been. It might have been pretty interesting at first, but it really ran its course real quickly, and I'm just so ready for the title just to change hands. I feel like this is now an actual opportunity for this title to change hands. I would love it to go to Chris Statlander. I would, but I feel like Taya Valkyrie, we know how great she is. We know she can hold her own. The only thing I can hope, especially with Collision coming up, I hope the TBS title can get more important storylines and we can actually start looking at this title a bit differently in a better light. Because again, the TBS title is probably the most irrelevant title in AEW. I feel like even the FTW title feels more important than the TBS title at this point. Because I mean, at least the person who's holding it and Hook is a fucking. At least the dude gets a fucking big reaction.
yeah.
At least the guy fucking the guy's over. The guy's over. I mean, like, what more do you want? And at least with him, like, he's actually kind of he's like he shows exciting stuff in the ring. Like he does. Like I know it may seem a little formulaic with him too. Like doesn't have like the biggest move set, but damn, I mean the dude is flashy. He's actually pretty fun to watch. Like I'm sorry, I'm just over the Jade Cargill TBS title run, and I'm going with Taya. That's what I'm going with.
We're over here comparing Jade Cargill to freaking Hook, man. This is hilarious. She's trash.
Hey man, Washington. I know we predict different, but I'm hoping Jay Cargill loses that TBS championship.
Yeah, me too.
Although I will say this: if Jay Cargill holds on to the TBS title, this is just me personally. I think it's just me personally. I think Tony Khan should try to get Camille in the AW so we can get a Jay Cargill Camille match for the TBS title. I think that could be. I think that could be fun. I think that could be a lot of fun. But other than that. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Let's get that title off. I don't think she loses, but yeah, get that title off as soon as possible.
And then again, like, what are you going to do with Taya after the fact? What if she loses? What are you going to do with Taya then? What happens then? Are you going to put her in like she lost twice? Like you can't just throw into her like a women's world title feud. Like it's just,
Yeah.
I just wonder what do you do with her after that? Like does she get involved with the originals Outcast storyline? Like I don't know. I just feel like you should just go ahead and pull the trigger now. And when Chris Statlander does come back, maybe you can have her take it off of Taya. I don't know. You can work something out there maybe, but I just think now it's time for a change of pace. So
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Jade Cargill is trash, and the TBS Championship's so irrelevant. It's so irrelevant. Let's move on. I'm tired of talking about Jade Cargill. Let's talk about better stuff. We just freaking buried her for like 10 minutes, dude. AEW tag team titles on the line. Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett challenging FTR with Mark Briscoe as a special guest referee. I want to go last on this one. I'm going to give this one to Wes first.
yeah. So obviously Mark Briscoe has his history with both teams here, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. They go way back to definitely with Jay Lethal to go back to the Ring of Honor days. FTR, we already know the history with FTR and the Briscoes. Mark Briscoe being involved definitely makes this more interesting. I will say I kind of do like they added Mark Briscoe to this because now it makes this a more interesting title match. Because before Briscoe being involved, I mean this really I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have cared as much about this. I mean FTR obviously we all love FTR and we would be tuning in because of them mainly, but it's just I personally I'm just kind of over the Jeff Jarrett Jay Lethal tag team. I get they're really just putting others over and it's whatever, but like. I don't know. I'm kind of just over the tag team. I'm like Saddam Singh. Obviously, he don't do it for me. The dude's just he's just a big giant dude who can't do much in the ring. Okay, but obviously FTR is going to retain here. I think Mark Briscoe will. here will do some slimy bullshit that's going to bother Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is one of the most lovable baby faces. Obviously, I don't see a Mark Briscoe heel turn happening. I mean, I feel like that would be absolutely mind-numbingly stupid. That's not happening. So FTR is definitely retaining here over Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, and also Karen Jarrett's involved in this now. So whoop-de-doo, we got AEW television. Cool. FTR.
Hey, what's man? Look at bro. She doesn't disrespect Karen Jarrett like that, bro. Don't disrespect my girl. Don't disrespect my girl Karen Jarrett like that, bro. Do not disrespect my girl Karen Jarrett like that, bro. She's welcome now. She's welcome on AEW television anytime, as far as I'm concerned, man. I love seeing Karen Jarrett on my television screen. Absolutely love it. Keep it going. Jeff Jarrett did well for himself. I'm proud of it. That's the best bag getter in wrestling. That is the best bag getter in wrestling history. Jeff Jarrett getting himself another pay-per-view match, man. He on pay-per-view again. It's his third straight pay-per-view in AEW, man. The best bag getter in the history of wrestling, my man Jeff Jarrett. But I think this is where his luck's in. His luck's in. FTR is going to get the win here. I think FTR is going to get the winner. I think that's pretty much obvious. And I think after the match, I think after the match we see not Jay Briscoe, excuse me. We see Mark. It would be pretty exciting to see Jay Briscoe come back. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. See him come back, make an appearance or that would be pretty exciting. But that can't happen for obvious reasons. So, but I do think after this match, Mark Briscoe's gonna lay out. I think he's gonna lay out Jay Lethal. I think Jay Lethal's going to get in his face, and we see Mark Briscoe lay Jay Lethal out with a pile driver or something similar. But or something similar. I think Mark Briscoe's walking out with FTR. But yeah, FTR is retaining.
Yeah, I will say it's probably an unpopular opinion, but the trio, the faction of Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt is really growing on me. These guys.
It's so insane.
They're so entertaining, dude. That segment a couple weeks ago when they were at Mark Briscoe's farm helping out Mark Briscoe and they had Briscoe's dad involved, that was amazing. That segment was so good. Sanjay Dutt.
I'm disappointed Jeff Jarrett didn't sing My Baby Tonight like he originally teased. I'm disappointed he didn't get that one. Man, this fact is great. I love it.
That segment was hilarious, and they've really grown on me. And I think in the future, if they could convince people to cheer for Jeff Jarrett as a babyface, I think in the future these guys can get over as baby faces, man. Jay Lethal's done it before. Sanjay probably has the charisma to do it. Satnam, he's just in the back with the group. But I think at some point, they're going to win the tag team titles, just not at Double or Nothing, because they can't beat FTR. FTR is not losing to these guys. The storyline is probably over at Double or Nothing when Mark Briscoe is going to be tired of the shit between Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, and he's probably going to freaking push Jeff Jarrett or whatever and turn it into a big rig. Excuse me. And FTR retains. So I think that's one of the easier predictions on this entire pay-per-view because I don't see these guys winning the tag team championships. But again, I will say they're growing on me, and they are entertaining as hell. You can disagree with me all you want. I don't care. These guys are really entertaining, and I'm kind of becoming a fan. Not yet, but they're entertaining. I will give them that. But FTR to retain. We got the fourth match we're talking about for Double or Nothing. We got the Blackjack Battle Royal for the AEW International Championship. And earlier today, AEW announced all the names that are in the Blackjack Battle Royal. Unfortunately, there is no Joker, so we have 21 participants. The International Champion, Orange Cassidy, obviously he's in the match. You got the Butcher and the Blade, Dustin Rhodes, the Best Friends, the Lucha Bros, Brian Cage, Arya Daivari, Tony Nese, Big Bill, Lee Moriarty, Juice Robinson, Kip Sabian, Commander, Bandito, Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland, Jay Wright, Jay White, and Ricky Starks. That is your field for this battle royal. I'm hoping it's I'm hoping it's like a casino battle royal type style, because having 21 people in the in the same ring at the same time, that's just so. I hate battle royals like that. I really do. Um, I'm kind of disappointed that there's no Joker, because at first when they announced this match, I'm like, okay, Orange Cassidy, he's definitely going to lose the championship in this match, because he doesn't have to be pinned, he doesn't have to be submitted, he just has to get thrown over the top rope, and then he can lose in the rematch. Um, I will say, before I give my prediction, I feel like it's way overpast that. I feel like at this point the international championship is levels above the TNT championship. Just throwing it out there. Um, But when this match was first announced, I'm like, okay, Orange Cassidy is going to lose in this match because all he has to do is get thrown over the top rope. And then they don't announce a Joker. And I'm looking at these names in this match, and I'm like, I really don't know a name in this list who makes sense to beat Orange Cassidy. Keith Lee is feuding with Swerve. Jay White is feuding with Ricky Starks. I don't really know who else in there is makes sense to win. Which, by the way, before I forget, Jay White's first pay-per-view match in AEW, being in a battle royal with 20 other guys, that just doesn't sit right with me, man. I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me at all. He should be in a bigger match. I think him and Ricky Starks should have had their own match at this pay-per-view, but I mean, whatever. Um, I don't know. It sounds so lame, but I'm taking Orange Cassidy to retain just because I don't feel like anyone on this list, besides those four guys who have separate feuds with each other, it just doesn't make sense. And I'm gonna take Orange Cassidy, and I'm gonna bank on someone else, like hopefully, like I wanted, hopefully a Miro to take the international championship from Orange Cassidy. Cam, who do you got winning and why?
Well, y'all know why I'm mad as hell about this match. I looked at that graphic. I ain't seen Roosh in that graphic at all. That made me so mad. That made me so mad. Where the hell is Roosh? Why is Roosh not in this damn graphic? I was like, look at, I need to make it a 22-man battle royal. Add Roosh, but have Roosh attack Kip. Everybody have Roosh attack Kip Sabian or Arya Davari or somebody and get him in this match. I need Roosh in this match here because I need Roosh as the AEW international champion. That is an agenda I've been pushing for months and months and months. A Root that gets the championship gold on Roosh by the end of the year. I'm very sad he's not in this match. But looking at the field of this match, there's one name that sticks out to me and one name that I think is one. That man's Jay White. I think Jay White is winning the international championship here from Orange Cassidy. I like the story they've been telling with Orange Cassidy. With that man, that man winning the championship on Dynamite every week. That man is going to wear out. That man is going to wear. Orange Cassidy is going to wear out. He's going to wear out. He's going to wear himself down. That is the story they're going here. I think it happens this Sunday. I think Orange Cassidy is one of the final two in the Battle Royal, and I think Jay White. I think Jay White being the sneaky cunning heel that he is. I think he's going to take advantage. I think Jay White's going to win the AEW and I think Jay White's winning the international championship Sunday. So I'm going with Jay White.
Wes?
I'm going with an Orange Cassidy retaining the international championship. As much as I would love to see Jay White win the international title, trust me, I would love that. I don't think it's going to happen. Again, Joseph, it's like you said, there's a lot of separate storylines happening within this battle royal with Jay White, Ricky Starks, and Juice Robinson also being involved in there, and then Swerve and Keith Lee. Obviously, they still got their feud going on. I feel like with those separate storylines happening, I just don't see anybody in this match that could realistically beat Orange Cassidy, especially with no Joker either. It's like, yeah, it's kind of making it more obvious that Orange Cassidy is going to retain. But yeah, it's like you said, Joseph, with the international title being leagues above the TNT title, I completely agree. The international Orange Cassidy's had some banger matches defending that title. It would be cool to see him have a nice like one-on-one feud with somebody, but I really enjoy the fact that he's been putting on these great matches with a lot of different great wrestlers. and he's had a hell of a reign up to this point. I mean, he's definitely been a primary champion for sure, like on Dynamite every week. I mean, it seems like just about every week we're seeing him defend the title. So it's great to see him on the show, being a fighting champion, defending the title. It's what you want to see out of any of your champions right there. Hopefully they could maybe at some point get him into a nice one-on-one feud, because we all know Orange Cassidy's are entertaining enough to be, great in a one-on-one feud or whatever the case may be. So I will disagree with you, Cam. I as much as I would love to see Jay White win the title and that be involved between him and Ricky Starks possibly, I think Orange Cassidy is going to retain. And what happens after the fact, I don't know. But I really enjoyed his reign up to this point. I think Cassidy's been they've definitely been booking him strong and making him look, like the amazing wrestler that we all know he is. It's crazy to me how there's still people in this community that think he's not a good wrestler. I'm like, y'all, what does he have to do? What really at this point we're in 2023? What does he have to do at this point to prove to you that he's a good wrestler? Like, I don't know, man.
I understand not liking the gimmick. I understand not liking the gimmick, but if you still shitting on this man, say he can't wrestle.
Yeah, no, I mean, people are crazy, man. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's like you said, Cam. I get not liking the gimmick. It's whatever. But like, dude, if you don't think he's a good wrestler, maybe you shouldn't be a fan of professional wrestling, because I don't know what the guy's got to do to impress you. I mean, like, just the hands in the pockets doing flips alone is impressive. Like, imagine trying to do that shit, like, and making it look easy. Like, come on now. So.
Dude, I just don't pay attention to those fools anymore. Like,
just the IWC doing their usual thing of being just a bunch of basement dwelling nerds. We all know how this works.
So. I don't pay attention to them anymore.
Right.
But yeah, I'm taking Orange Cassidy, and I think hopefully, get him and maybe Andrade or Miro or whoever on the opening episode of Collision. I don't think Rush is going to take the championship from Orange. That's a good Dynamite match.
Sure.
Yeah. We'll see. I think at this point, the way his reign's been going, the impressive wins he's had, I feel like they should have a kind of a big name like Miro or an Andrade take the championship from Orange Cassidy. So, we got the unsanctioned match. The contract signing was last night. I thought that segment was great on Dynamite. Really enjoyed it. We got Chris Jericho versus Adam Cole, baby, with the special ring enforcer, Sabu. Out of nowhere, Sabu showed up in AEW, and he's the special ring enforcer for this unsanctioned match. Cam, I'm going to give this to you first. Who do you got winning, Jericho or Cole?
I think Jericho winning this match, because I think this feud is going to continue. But I want to talk about this week. Here we go. Here's another. Right, here's another one where you can't argue this being the main event. I'll tell you, it's not sanctioned. Meaning AEW is not sanctioning the violence that's going to happen in this match. How does it make sense logically for a match that is going to be so violent, for a match that's going to be so violent, so bloody, these two men want to go in there and kill each other, that AEW is like, you know what, we ain't responsible for what y'all do to each other. Yeah, y'all going to have the match go on in the middle of the show. Have them come to the back, right? Have them come to the back in the locker room and stay there while the other matches on the show are happening. To me, that doesn't make, I'm sorry, but to me, that doesn't make sense. If this had to be an unsanctioned match, I understand why they're doing it, but like you could have like literally like was just thrown in like any other type of match for this. You could have done like they're gonna have they're gonna have a street fighter. They're gonna have a no holds barred something. I just don't understand the unsanctioned part of it. To me, that's the part that doesn't make sense. But to me, that's the part that doesn't make sense. But I think Chris Jericho is winning because I think this feud is going to continue. Because I think this feud is going to continue. And if I'm not wrong, I think Jericho's lost his last two matches on pay-per-view. I know he lost at Revolution. Did he lose that Full Gear if he was on that show?
He was the Ring of Honor champion, so he won.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Okay. But I know Jericho lost that Revolution. I can't see Jericho losing on back-to-back pay-per-views like this. So I think Jericho beats Adam Cole, and that continues the feud here. But I think Action Andretti is going to join the JAS in this match here and cost Uncle this match. That's what I'm thinking. Either that or Sabu's going to turn on it. Either that or Sabu is going to turn on Adam Cole. Sabu is going to turn on Adam Cole, but either way, I think Jericho's won.
I think it's going to be bloody, violent. A lot of people complaining on the internet, I don't care about, but that's why it's an unsanctioned match. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be violent. A lot of blood. Maybe some thumbtacks. I don't know. I think the Jericho Appreciation Society get involved. I think Roderick Strong's certainly going to get involved. I think Adam Cole walks out with the win. I'm taking Adam Cole. I don't know if the feud's going to continue with rumors. There was rumors like a month ago maybe that maybe CM Punk's first feud back in AEW is with Chris Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society. So I don't know if that's the direction they're going to go in for the summer, but I'm going to take Adam Cole to beat Chris Jericho in this unsanctioned match. Wes?
Yeah, this match is definitely interesting. I could definitely see it going either way. It's one of those matches where it's like I could see a Jericho win and it would make sense because it would keep the storyline going. Sabu, I love me some Sabu. Him being involved just feels so random because it's just like I guess he has a little bit of a history with Jericho and ECW, but it's just like that was 20 plus years ago. Like, I mean, I'm just like, it's not something this was like fairly recent or anything. I mean, and Adam Cole, I mean, I don't think him and Sabu have ever been in the same arena up until like last Wednesday. So, yeah, I mean, some shit's gonna go down if Sabu is involved. There's gonna be some barbed wire, glass. I'm sure there's gonna be some crazy. Somebody's going through some tables. Like, something's gonna happen. I don't know where he's gonna fit in all this. I don't know if they just wanted the big name of Sabu to be on Double or Nothing, but this will be a good match regardless. I mean, I'm excited for it. I really enjoyed the storyline with these two. I really loved the Falls Count Anywhere match with Roderick Strong and Chris Jericho. That was fun. I had a lot of fun watching that. That was great. And Adam Cole coming out from outside. He couldn't do anything in the arena. No, they never said anything about him doing something outside the arena. I love that. He hit him with the boom, and then Roderick Strong hit him with the rising knee. Pinned him, got the win. Nice, and a great spot for Roderick Strong too. Happy to see that he's already being treated right in AEW. I'm happy to see that, man. The dude is a great wrestler. You know, I know he may not have the most like A+ personality, you know, or like where he might not be like that infectious as a personality, but dude's a great wrestler. You can't deny it. But yeah, anyway, who wins this match? Honestly, I mean, a Jericho win would make sense, so I could see that too. But I think I'm gonna go with you, Joseph. I think I'm gonna say Adam Cole wins. I think putting him over, and especially this is his big first big return match, and on a pay-per-view too, after being gone from injury and everything, and also the possibility of him retiring. I mean, how serious the injury was. I think putting Adam Cole over here and really kind of starting to establish him more and more as a main event guy is the way you want to go about it. Because even people have been talking about him possibly being the one eventually to beat MJF, which is like I could see that storyline playing out at some point in the near future. When that happens, I don't know. But I think an Adam Cole MJF storyline would be money. I mean, just promos alone between those two guys would be absolutely absurd. I think I'm going to go Adam Cole winning this. Jericho win would make sense. I could see JS get involved helping him win, but I'm going to go with Adam Cole, baby.
So we got Cam on the opposite side of this one. He's going Jericho, and we're going with Adam Cole. I feel like the Action Andretti thing's been talked about for too long. It's been a while. He's in a tag team with Darius Martin on Ring of Honor, so I don't think he has any part. I don't think he'll have any part in this, but I think Adam Cole's going to win at Double or Nothing.
Trust Sabu there. I don't trust Sabu. Sabu apparently posted on Instagram. I don't know if this is an old photo or what, but I saw the picture on Twitter. Sabu had a thing. I saw the thing on Twitter. Sabu had his drugs already. He had a thing of cocaine He had a thing of cocaine, and he had a bag on the tray. I don't know if it's an old photo. Or what, but he posted on Instagram. So I don't be surprised if Jericho gets Sabu some. So don't be surprised if Jericho gets Sabu some drugs. Sabu turns on Adam Cole. Don't be shocked. I wouldn't trust Sabu. I love him, but I wouldn't trust
We'll see what happens in the unsanctioned match. Let's move on. TNT title, ladder match, Christian Cage, Wardlow, Luchasaurus, of course, is going to be with Christian Cage. I've actually liked the build for this match. I'm glad they gave the TNT Championship a feud. I feel like they've been building it for like a month now, which is kind of what the TNT Championship needs. But at the same time, like, how long have we been arguing about this? Like, at the same time, I'm getting tired of it because they just, at this point, we mentioned it earlier, the International Championship has overlapped the TNT Championship because, like, Tony Khan has done more with that championship and this reign with Orange Cassidy than he has with the TNT Championship in, like, the last year. So, but I do like this match. Wardlow in a feud with Christian Cage in Christian Cage's match, ladder match. Wes, I'm going to give it to you first.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tris. I've liked this storyline. I'm happy that the TNT title has kind of felt like at least slightly important, having its own feud here between Wardlow, Christian Cage. Christian Cage is money on the mic every single time. Every Christian Cage segment is like
he's been fantastic.
He's just amazing. I mean, him alone is selling this feud. Him alone, him like just talking on the mic is just making this feud like pretty much must see. And so I honestly do. We all kind of initially thought it was maybe going to be Wardlow and Luchasaurus to start out for the TNT title feud. But honestly, looking back, I'm happy they didn't go that route just yet. I do think we're going to get Wardlow and Luchasaurus, which is why I believe Wardlow is going to retain here in this ladder match against Christian Cage. Love me some Christian. I don't want another TNT title change right now. Please, for the love of God, just have at least 3-month reign for Wardlow. Please, I'm begging you, just at least a 3-month fucking reign. Please, do not fuck this guy over again. Please, I'm begging you. This is like your second chance with Wardlow now. Please don't fuck this up. So I think Wardlow retains over Christian. I think eventually we'll get the Wardlow Luchasaurus TNT title match. I think that's what it's eventually building to give Luchasaurus his big moment. But I would take some time to build that up. I think Wardlow getting Christian here is a good way for the veteran to put the younger guy over. And ladder matches are Christian's specialty. So we're going to be in for a pretty action-packed match here between these two guys. Wardlow, we all know he can fly around pretty well for a big man, so he might do some crazy shit off a ladder too. Who knows? Arn Anderson, I'm sure, will be involved in some way too because he is managing Wardlow now. So I think we can expect Arn Anderson to make an appearance here. But this should be a really solid match. But I do think Wardlow retains over Christian Cage, and eventually we will get Wardlow and Luchasaurus facing off for the TNT title.
Yeah, I don't think Luchasaurus is going to win that match either because, please, he needs to be longer. He needs to be champion until at least Full Gear, at least.
I would hope they just at least stretch it out a little bit.
Or All Out.
In
between them.
Yeah.
I'm tired of these 2-month reigns, these transitional reigns, man. Cam, who do you like and why?
I'm on the opposite spectrum again because I'm in agreement with you guys. I think that these 2-month title reigns have to end. I'm in agreement with that. But I think Christian Cage is winning the TNT title. I think Christian Cage is winning the TNT title, and Wardlow's going to win it back. Well, what is that going to do for Wardlow? I don't know. What's that going to do for Wardlow? I don't know. But that's what I think is going to happen here. I think Christian Cage is going to win this match here.
Oh no!
Because I think Christian Cage is TNT champion. Could be very entertaining. Him coming out there in promos, cutting that turtleneck, looking like a douche. I do think that could be very entertaining, even if I don't want to see him win the team. Even though I don't want to see him win the TNT title, because I think Wardlow needs to hold on to that title. I just don't see it happen. I just don't see it happen. I'm sorry. I just don't see it happen. I'm sorry. I think Christian Cage is winning the TNT title here.
See, what good does that do? I'm going to take Wardlow to win just for my prediction, but man, what good does that do? Like, they did this whole thing they did it with him against Powerhouse Hobbs. Then he won the title back 5 weeks later. And I didn't feel anything different about Wardlow from the time he was out until the time he came back. Like, man, that's just the same thing again with a different guy. Like,
I mean,
they're killing Wardlow, but let's move on here before QT Marshall hears this. And QT Marshall gets on her ass talking about, well, you guys don't know how to book, you guys don't know the thinking behind Wardlow, blah, blah, blah. So let's just move on before QT Marshall gets on her ass about this.
Man, you're just doing Wardlow. You're doing him no favors.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, this again. It's like I said. This is their second chance. This is AEW's second chance at the Wardlow. They can't fuck this up. This is literally this is their primary monster. I think they're really trying to build up now. Like Luchasaurus is another monster. I think they want to primarily build up to as a singles guy, which I don't mind because Luchasaurus is great as well. But Wardlow dropping the title Sunday is a huge mistake because then you're going to prove once again, even with Arn Anderson in this corner, you're going to prove, well, Wardlow is just irrelevant. Like
yeah,
we're making him look, we're just going to make him look like a piece of shit every time we put him on screen. It's like this should not be because Wardlow is so entertaining. He got himself over organically, and they need to try so hard this time around to build that up again because like I feel like the fans, like there's fans out there that still love Wardlow. It's not like he's lost all fanfare, but his stock really decreased after dropping it, and I need to see like again at least a 3-month reign, at least 3 months, and I could be like, okay, that's pretty satisfactory. I can deal with 3 months, fine. But I need some stretching out. I don't want it like I love Christian. Okay, Christian is very entertaining, but I can't deal with another TNT title change right now. I can't.
no.
We've seen way too many. How many? I can't even. There's probably been way too many to count on one hand. We've seen, and so far in 2020, we're only halfway through 2023. I feel like we've seen like 6, 7 TNT title changes. Like
Yeah.
it feels that way, So I mean, but hey,
That's how
I,
they're like
I
a
appreciate
blunt.
it
That's what they
different.
do.
What was that?
They passing that title around like a blunt is what they do. It's like everybody gets a hit up. And that's what they do.
Oh, dude. Like, I love Christian, but even he doesn't even need to be the champion. He's Christian Cage. He's established. He does
Right.
not need to be the champion. If they take the title off of Wardlow, man, you're doing him no favors, and you're
I'm
just.
gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad. Like I love.
I would be mad too.
I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be like, dude, no, like this, you fucked him up again. Why? How? Like this is WWE booking here. Like
Yeah.
that's like I'm talking Vince McMahon WWE booking specifically because it's like he would be the guy to be like, oh hey, we brought this guy back. Hey, we're gonna fuck him up again. Like what? Okay, let's just make his stock even worse now. So it's just that's a Vince McMahon move. Like I Tony Khan knows better. Wardlow retains.
Yeah,
I stick by my heart on that one.
yeah, he's got to go over. 100%. Let's talk about the women's championship. We got Toni Storm against Jamie Hayter. Apparently, reports are going around that Jamie Hayter's legitimately injured, so that's why she hasn't been on TV for a while. I don't know. This is tricky. I'm gonna take Jamie Hayter, but I could see Toni Storm winning just because Jamie Hayter's injured. But I'm gonna take Jamie. But yeah, I really don't have much to say about it. It should be a great match. They've had great matches before. Full Gear was one of the better matches on that show. But I don't know. This Originals versus Outcast feud, it's just poop. I'm not into it anymore. But I'm gonna take Jamie Hayter, but I could see Toni Storm winning. Cam, who do you got winning and why?
I think Tony Storm is winning because of Jamie Hayter's injured. They got to get the championship off. I think Tony Storm is winning. I think this Outcast and I think this Outcast versus Original feud has been shit. But forget all that. I got a question, in particular to Britt Baker. You see the reports coming out how Jamie Hayter is injured. Oh, Jamie Hayter's injured. That's why she ain't been on Dynamite. Jamie Hayter's legitimately hurt. That's why she ain't been on Dynamite. She's legitimately hurt. Tony Storm's winning the title. So all I want to know is from Dr. Britt Baker, is she gonna keep the same energy about Jamie Hayter that she was talking about Tony Storm, that she was talking about Thunder Rosa? You remember Thunder Rosa had to vacate the AW Women's title because she got injured. Britt Baker Britt Baker started running her mouth in different interviews, talking about Thunder Rosa doesn't care about the division. But talking about Thunder Rosa doesn't care about the division. Oh, when I was champion, I wrestled. When I was champion, I wrestled the injury. I broke my wrist and I wrestled as champion. Blah 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 blah. All the shit talking she been giving to Thunder Rosa while Thunder Rosa been out hurt. Thunder Rosa been out hurt with a bad back from carrying that women's division. I wonder if she gonna keep that same energy about Jamie Hayter because Jamie Hayter's hurt. I'm wondering if Britt Baker gonna keep that same. Just keep that same energy, Britt. That's all I need you to do. Keep that same energy about Jamie Hayter that she kept about Thunder Rosa. That's all I need you to do, Britt. That's all I need you to do. Keep that same energy. But Tony Storm is winning the title here because Jamie Hayter's.
Wes?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Jamie Hayter retaining. I could see a title change if the reports are true and she's like legit hurt and she can't go. I could see Tony Storm winning the title. So I think we shouldn't be surprised if we do see a title change. And I love Tony Storm, so I won't really be upset about it. Tony Storm held her own anyway when she was champion before, so I really wouldn't be upset with it. Yeah, I'm agreeing with the guys. I think the Originals Outcast feud has kind of been dragging it up to this point. I feel like it started out pretty hot, and now it's kind of like felt kind of meh the past few weeks. Feels like it's just they're just kind of dragging this at this point. It would be nice to see something pick it up again. I don't know what it could be. But I think I'm going to go with Jamie retaining, though. Jamie is just such a badass. I feel like I don't know what kind of injury she's battling. And obviously, I mean, take care of yourself. I mean, your life is way more important than what you do in the ring. But I don't know. She just is the type of the woman I could see like battling through some sort of injury and just still kicking ass and still putting on a banger. You know, I get that vibe from her. But I think it should be a really good match. I think it's a sleeper match, honestly. I think both these two will put on a great show. And Jamie Hayter's so over. A lot of people love Jamie Hayter. The Hayter's gonna hate, the Hater Club. I mean, it's raucous around the AEW community, man. Ideally, what I would love to see if Jamie Hayter is fine enough to wrestle and she doesn't have to miss a lot of significant time, I would love for All In. We see Jamie Hayter and Saraya go at it for the title there. I feel like that's the perfect place to do it because you're in their home of the UK, and Jamie Hayter, Saraya is a household name. Everybody knows who Saraya is. Jamie Hayter is AEW's number one woman right now. And again, I don't know the severity of her injuries. I mean, if they aren't that severe, hopefully she can continue to go forward. But I'm going to go with Jamie retaining. And honestly, yeah, if we get to a Jamie Hayter Saraya match at All In, I think that would be a great decision right there.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if Toni Storm wins. She kind of got screwed over in the last reign when she was called the interim champion because of the whole thing with Thunder Rosa being injured and stuff. So, I mean, if they did give the title to Toni, I wouldn't be too mad, but I would take Jamie regardless. And then the main event, 4 Pillars 4-way for the AEW World Championship. This is probably going to go on last. We got Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and MJF, the World Heavyweight Champion. I will go last. I'm going to give this one to Wes first.
Well, obviously, other than the BCC Elite feud, this is the biggest feud going in AEW. You got the 4 pillars of AEW, the 4 future stars, if anything, 4 present stars of AEW. When it comes to Jack Perry, MJF, Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin, this is going to be a banger. We are going to be in for a real treat with these 4 guys. This is going to be absolutely wonderful. I think the promo work has been really great. Obviously, when MJF has a mic, you're going to be entertained. I don't think there's ever been a single bad MJF promo segment ever. There have been a couple like minor hiccups, I think, in the build to the storyline, like with one of them not having a match one week, but the rest of them get to fight. It's been kind of weird like that. But other than that, though, I mean, minor hiccups. Overall, the storyline's been entertaining, and they've really gotten the point across. One of these guys wants to be the guy in AEW. Obviously, MJF is the guy right now. But the other 3 guys are they pleaded their case as to why they think they deserve to be at the top of the mountain. They have a lot of respect for each other and what they do in the ring. But I think these 4 are going to put on an absolute amazing match. I mean, this could very well be a 4.5 star match for sure with these 4. Hell, it could go as big as 5 with how talented all 4 of these guys are. I think we're going to be in for a real treat. Who wins? I think it's pretty obvious. I think MJF retains the AEW World Championship and continues his reign of terror over All Elite Wrestling and proves to be the number 1 pillar in all of AEW.
Cam, who do you got and why?
MJF is retaining, obviously. That's obvious. It's the easiest match I'm sure to predict. MJF's winning. I have not been a big fan of this feud here. To me, this feud just hasn't clicked the way I envisioned when I first, when I first saw it. I think that's because, I think, to be honest with you, it's because I don't think Sammy Guevara or Jungle Boy are quite ready to be in the spot yet. I just don't. I just don't. I'm sorry. I just don't think they're quite ready to be in the spot. Like Darby Allin is somebody who I think people will take seriously. Fighting for the world title. I don't get that same vibe about Jungle Boy or Sammy Guevara, which is why here's what I'm predicting. Sammy Guevara, in my opinion, is a lost cause. I don't give two shits about Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara can wrestle, but to me, he's a lost cause. I don't give two shits about Sammy. I'm sorry, that's just me. I'm sorry, that's just me. But I'm pitching this idea here. I'm pitching a Jungle Boy heel turn. I'm pitching Jungle Boy going heel. I'm predicting that at some point I'm predicting that during this match here, Jungle Boy, I'm predicting during this match here, you always get that moment in a multi-man match where it seems to be going this person's way. Everything's firing on all cylinders. That's what's going to happen with Jungle Boy. It's going to be going Jungle Boy's way. Jungle Boy's going to have the match. One, he goes in for the cover, probably on MJF. 1, 2, and Darby Allin breaks up the pin, as he has already to do, because it's a 4-way. And I think that is just going to send Jungle Boy over the edge, and I think Jungle Boy is going to be pissed out of Darby Allin, either in this match or in the next night on the next episode of Dynamite. I think Jungle Boy's going to lose his shit. I think Jungle Boy should lose his shit. Beat the absolute piss out of Darby Allin. That leads to, that can lead to MJF, that can lead to MJF sneaking in, getting covered. But I think in this match, Jungle Boy needs to go heel. And I think turning Jungle Boy heel, to be honest with you, be the best thing for him. I was kind of against it because I was like, I don't think Jungle Boy could play heel. Because I don't think Jungle Boy could play heel. But to be honest with you, turning him heel might be the best thing for him. To be honest with you, turning him heel might be the best thing for him. Have him cut his hair, have him cut his hair, pair energy with him, have him cut his hair, pair energy with him. You got Jungle Boy's first feud right there with Darby Allin. But I think Jungle Boy should go heel in this match here, just me. But I think MJF is retaining the AEW title. That's the easiest spot. MJF is retaining.
Man, I don't know if I would believe Jungle Boy is a heel. I don't know if that would come off well. I don't know.
I get what you're saying now. I don't want to cut you off. I get what you're saying. But we said the same thing about Sami Zayn. With Sami Zayn, he was like, I don't know about that. I don't know turning Sami Zayn heel is gonna work out. And in the end, Sami Zayn ended up proving that he could be a very entertaining heel. We said the same thing about Dakota Kai, which was in a tissue and he was like, what? So they turned it's like, I don't know about that. He said the same thing about Bayley. When they turned Bayley heel, he was like, how is that gonna work? How is Bayley's heel gonna work? And we saw how it worked out. Maybe turning Jungle Boy heel gives Jungle Boy this newfound confidence in the right place. And the ring, Jungle Boy's spectacular. I don't think anybody can deny that. In the ring, the man is spectacular. But to kind of give Jungle, I'm only pitching it to kind of give Jungle Boy a bit more character. They give Jungle Boy a bit more character, a bit more something to work with. I think turning him heel will work out great. It will happen with Dominic Mysterio. This worked wonders for Dominic. I think the same each other with Jungle Boy. I think Jungle Boy should go heel in this match here. But I understand. If you don't think it'll work out, but it's something I would just like to see. And I think he needs to do it. And I think he needs to do it because I think with Jungle Boy, you run the risk of turning the fans against him. I don't know why, but I think you run the risk of turning the fans against Jungle Boy. So that's just me.
Well, to be fair, I don't think Jungle Boy has he's not as good as on the mic, and he doesn't have as much personality as Sami Zayn or Bayley or even Dominic does. Dominic's gotten a lot better with his personality since he's turned heel. I don't think Jungle Boy lives up to that level, but I do agree with Wes. I do think that this has potential to steal the freaking show. This is 4 of the best wrestlers in AEW, and you don't think these 3 guys and this is their first main event, that they're going to be motivated as hell, and they're not going to want to go out there and have people forget about this match. No, they're going to go out there and they're going to put on a freaking banger, great match that people are going to be talking about for a while. Just like when MJF went out there and he shut the haters up with that Iron Man match against Bryan Danielson because he held his own in that match at Revolution against Bryan Danielson. And now he's proven to be a main event guy. These guys have a chance to go out there and prove that they're main event caliber wrestlers. I already think Darby Allin is a main event caliber wrestler in AEW, but as Sammy Guevara and as Jungle Boy, they'll have to prove it. But I do think this match is going to be fantastic. Obviously, MJF is going to retain the AEW championship, the world championship. And what's next for him? I don't know, man. We got Forbidden Door coming up in a couple weeks. So we got New Japan AEW matches. MJF has always talked about how he's hated New Japan Pro Wrestling and how New Japan Wrestling is shit. Who's like the top of New Japan? Hiroshi Tanahashi is a legend. Maybe that's a match for Forbidden Door, getting Hiroshi Tanahashi, getting another shot at the World Championship against MJF. I don't know, man. I'm just throwing it out there. But those are your Double or Nothing predictions here tonight on the Big Fight Field channel. What a freaking show, man. We dissected and we went into the details for over an hour. Way over an hour. We talked about Collision for a little bit. Then we talked about Double or Nothing for over an hour. All the stuff that you need to know. Who we got winning the matches. This Sunday at Double or Nothing, I'm very excited. I think Sunday night, I haven't decided yet. I'm either going to do the review after the show, or I might do a live stream for Double or Nothing, because the last time we did a live stream for AEW pay-per-view here on the Big Fight Field channel, we got pretty damn close to 1,000 views. So I think it was really fun the first time. I'm thinking about doing it again Sunday night for Double or Nothing. But be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from myself, Wesley Williams, and Cameron Johnson. Comment down below your predictions for Double or Nothing this Sunday. Let us know in the comments below who is going to win the matches, what's going to be the best match, all that stuff. Let it down below. And follow me on Twitter and TikTok at Conlon_Joseph. Wes, where can they follow you on your socials?
You can follow me over on Instagram at The Real Wesley Snipes. You can also follow me over on TikTok with the same exact username at The Real Wesley Snipes. I posted a video the other day, a TikTok the other day, doing the challenge. A lot of people doing making a fantasy NBA dream team with this filter. It's really cool, man. A lot of cool stuff to check out on sports TikTok, man. They're like with filters and everything, building up a dream team, building a 2-0 team, or with baseball, building a 162-0 team. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun discussion too on sports TikTok. It's way better than honestly watching any like mainstream media talk about sports, because the analysts, I feel like a lot of them don't know what they're talking about. That's just personally me though. But if you want to follow me over on TikTok to see more sports content, I'm going to maybe try to get more sports content on there. You can go find me over on TikTok. Again, that's at The Real Wesley Snipes. And I'm also over on Instagram with the same exact username at The Real Wesley Snipes. Cam, plug those socials.
Oh, actually, you are right about that. Most of these sports analysts, I do have no idea what they're talking about. I don't even know why they're on TV Wesley. I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Nick Craig, King for Perkins, no idea what the fuck they're talking about. So they disrespected Jokic. So they disrespected that man. Now that man, if I was playing with my man, follow me on Twitter at Games101. Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. For myself, Wesley Williams, Cameron Johnson, thank you for joining us for Double or Nothing predictions. We hope you enjoy the Double or Nothing pay-per-view on Sunday night, and I will be here Sunday night regardless, whether it's a live watch-along or if it's a review after the show gets over. Guys, have a good night, stay safe, and as always, stay classy, and I'm out. Peace.